Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing a reality check on what might be one of the biggest, most complex projects humanity has ever taken on, the green transition. We're going to dig into a really fascinating report from Finland's Geological Survey. It asks a pretty simple but powerful question. What will it actually take to go green? So first, we'll get a handle on our current fossil fuel world, then we'll look at the popular plan to fix it, and then, and this is the key part, we'll get into the actual math. We'll even check out some other options before we land on the report's ultimate and pretty challenging final question. All right, so first things first. Before we talk about where we're going, we have to get a really clear picture of where we are right now. How is our world actually powered? The whole report that we're looking at today is really built on this one single powerful idea. Energy is the master resource. Think about that. It's the invisible force behind everything we make, everything we transport, basically our entire industrial civilization. And this is what that dependence looks like. This chart shows that back in 2018, almost 2/3 of all of our electricity came from burning fossil fuels. That big purple slice of the pie, that is the system we are trying to completely replace. Okay, so how are we supposed to replace all of that? Well, there's a plan. A really big plan that we all hear about almost constantly. When you boil it all down, the plan is basically one giant swap out. We take out the old system, the gas-guzzling cars, the coal and gas power plants, and we plug in a whole new system: electric vehicles, fields of solar panels, and fleets of wind turbines. And let's be really clear, this is not a minor adjustment we're talking about. The goal is a total system overhaul. It means a massive, and I mean massive, build out of renewable energy and getting pretty much every single car on the road to be electric. So the plan sounds straightforward enough. But the Finnish report did something absolutely crucial. They actually ran the numbers. And this, right here, is where the story gets really interesting. This question is really the heart of the entire report's reality check. We have the vision. We have the plan, but do we truly understand the sheer physical cost of building it all? Try to wrap your head around this number for a second. 1.4 billion. That's the rough estimate of how many cars, trucks, and buses are on this planet right now running on fossil fuels. The plan is to replace all of them. Okay, now this chart is just staggering. That bar on the left, that is our entire current non-fossil fuel energy output. Everything, nuclear, hydro, solar, wind, all of it combined. Now look at the bar on the right. Just to power that new fleet of electric vehicles, we would need to build an entirely new clean energy system of the exact same size. We would literally have to double our clean electricity production, just for the cars. And you know, generating all that power is only half the battle. According to this report, the real bottleneck, the biggest challenge of all, might be finding the raw materials, the actual physical ingredients to build this new world. Just look at these numbers. To make just one single generation of EV batteries to replace the current fleet, we would need to increase our annual cobalt mining by over 700%. We'd have to more than triple our production of lithium and nickel. These are not small tweaks to the supply chain. These are absolutely astronomical leaps from our current global capacity. Okay, so if mining for all those batteries is such a massive hurdle, what about other options? What's plan B? Well, the report looked into one of the most common alternatives you hear about: biofuels. So the idea behind biofuels is actually pretty intuitive. Instead of drilling miles into the earth for oil, you just grow your fuel. You use things like corn or algae or animal waste to create a liquid fuel that can act as a replacement for gasoline. But here again, the minute you start to run the numbers, you hit a massive scaling problem. The report estimates that if we wanted to replace all the petroleum we used in 2018 with biofuel, we would need this much land to grow the necessary crops: 59 million square kilometers. So how much land is that really? Well, to put it in perspective, the total amount of land we use on the entire planet for all of our crops, everything we eat, is about 15.6 million square kilometers. So we would need almost 4 times our current global cropland. We would be faced with an impossible choice: fuel our cars or feed humanity.
And it's not just about the land competition. There's another huge hidden cost. For every single liter of ethanol we produce from corn, the report says we could lose over 3 kilograms of precious topsoil to erosion. We'd literally be trading our future ability to grow food for fuel.
All of this, all these staggering numbers, brings us to the report's final and, frankly, most challenging section, and what it calls the ultimate question. After running all these calculations, the report comes to a truly startling conclusion. It suggests that our current green technologies, our EVs, our solar panels, our wind turbines, they aren't the final answer. They are, in the report's own words, merely stepping stones to something else rather than the final solution.
So if they're just stepping stones, where are we stepping to? What's the final destination? The report suggests the answer might not be a new technology at all. It might be a fundamental change in our behavior, a significant reduction of societal demand for all resources. In other words, the only way out may be to use less, a lot less.
And that is the profound and deeply challenging question this report leaves us with. If our entire current plan for a green transition is just a stepping stone, what are we really stepping towards?